Welcome to Glenwood Canyon, a year-round destination. And I'm here where it all starts, the heart and soul of outdoor recreation, Glenwood Canyon. This canyon stands 2,000 feet above the Colorado River and stretches in a mesmerizing 12 miles down I-70. A pre-interstate road did exist. Records of teams of wagons can be found that date back to the 1880s. I-70 throughout the canyon is considered an engineering marvel. From 1980 to 1992, as many as 500 employees worked on the canyon every day to construct the $490 million highway into the delicate canyon environment. From rafting to hiking to biking to rock climbing, this area draws thousands every year for outdoor play. Today we're going to talk to two brothers who not only grew up in Glenwood Springs, but have built a livelihood around outdoor recreation because simply they never found a reason to leave.
Well, we grew up on 40 acres. I mean, all of us kids. And then when my parents moved into downtown Glenwood Springs, the river was just a couple blocks away. And so, we'd always go explore and, explore the caves in the canyon, explore along the river and swim out to different rocks. And eventually sort of all started to develop from there, from just floating down the river in life jackets and tubes, and now rafts.
Hi, brother! Hey, brother!
That's a brother.
That's the youngest one.
So let's talk about your family then. You come from a big one, five kids, right?
Yeah.
And they're all have been raft guides.
There's 5 of us kids, and 4 of us have been raft guides through the years. Caleb started in...
I started in 2001. Our sister Rachel started in 2002. Saul here started in 2003, and then 2 years later, our youngest brother Levi started in 2005. Throughout the course of all of our lives, we've all wandered, Denver, Fort Collins, who knows where else, but seemed to find our way back here to Glenwood.
So what brought us back to Glenwood Springs is really, for us, it was partly being around the family and the sense of community that was here. And raft guiding really has just kept that engagement and sharing. We live in such a beautiful place, and for me, it's sharing that as well. Growing up in the large family that we have, it was always bringing in extra kids and always having that flair. And that's one of the things that we love about Glenwood Springs, is because it does attract an international crowd.
We live where people vacation. I think that's the best way to sum it up. People come from all over the world to here, where we were born and raised. They come to vacation, and what's all talked about is being able to share that with people. For being on the river, that's one of the greatest things when you're floating down this canyon, and people have never seen a canyon like this before ever. They may be from the Midwest, they may be from Europe, who knows where. They've never seen this before, and to see their awe at the canyon, at the water, at the wildlife, the bighorn sheep, the mink, whatever it is just, I think it's just pretty amazing. And to be able to share that with people is a great experience. One of the things when we're floating down the river is we point out that there's this bike path that runs the whole length of the canyon. That was built when they built the I-70 through here in the mid-80s and 90s. And it's just a bike path that runs 16 miles from Glenwood out to the east end of the canyon, which I think is probably one of the most popular activities to do in the canyon besides rafting. And then a few years ago, they also put in what's called the Rio Grande Trail, which starts right at the confluence of the Colorado River and the Roaring Fork, and it follows the old Rio Grande Railway all the way up to Aspen. So there's just plenty of biking options. Those are, road biking, but mountain biking, there's Boy Scout Trail, Red Mountain Trail.
A lot of people know Hanging Lake Hike in Glenwood Springs, which is an absolutely gorgeous hike with the lake hanging on the cliff. But there are so many other places to explore locally around Glenwood. Jesse Weaver Trail up No Name is a gorgeous trail. A lot of history up there with the original aqueduct running into town. So your options and opportunities to explore and to engage is endless.
Glenwood Springs is just as exciting in the winter, where you can ski, stay, and swim. Sunlight Mountain is all about spending time with family. Skiers and snowboarders of all ability levels will find plenty to smile about. You can cross-country ski, snowmobile, or choose from 2 of the best hot springs in Colorado to relax and rejuvenate. And this is what keeps people coming all year round.
One of the things that makes Glenwood really unique is with the 2 rivers, the Colorado River and the Roaring Fork River converging right in the heart of Glenwood Springs. Fishing is extremely popular here. There's the Roaring Fork River is known for the gold medal water fishing. The Colorado, especially later season, becomes very popular. And it's just another way to spend time out in nature, engaging with an aspect of nature and with fishing.
So when fishing on the Roaring Fork River, I mean, you'll see a lot of people fishing from the shore, but there's actually a lot of commercial companies that'll take you on guided fishing tours. They have what are called floating dories, which are like a hard shell boat, and they just, will take you down either Roaring Fork or the Colorado, or a combination of the both, and just let you have your pleasant day of fishing on the river.
Some of the recreations you have, looking at kayaking, Glenwood has the kayak wave, and that has actually been a really neat addition to Glenwood Springs. I mean, people are always there playing on the wave, but it's not just kayakers. I think one of the unexpected intrigues of the wave were the surfers that showed up. Glenwood sits in a valley, and so there's two peaks that the paragliders can launch from. The experience of paragliding, if you've never been before, when you're on top of the mountain overlooking sort of the vista of Glenwood Springs and the canyon, you see Mount Cypress off in the distance and the canyon. But as you sit there, you're just soaring above the mountaintops and the blue sky of Colorado, and it's stunning.
How has being outdoors your entire life shaped who you are today?
One of the calls for us to always consider Glenwood home is, our pride. We're born and raised here in Glenwood Springs, and the pride of the beauty, the pride of how we engage with it, the pride of, and it's part of the joy of sharing with people is that pride.
I have long said that my soul resides in these mountains, and it's not just from being born here, but everything that we do, from being on the river to whether it's water training with the dogs on the river, to hiking with the family, to spending time at the mountain cabin. This is where my soul resides, and this is where it will always be.